Wednesday, crafty friends. It's Diane, the Creative Inkster. Today, Wednesday, January the 4th. I'm having trouble. Monday, not being the first day of the work week, has thrown me right off. So let's see. Today is Wednesday the 4th, 2023, and it's What's Up Wednesday. A time to kind of take a look at something different and learn about new products, learn about new ways to do things. So that is what we're doing tonight. If you're watching live, please leave me a comment and let me know you're here. We'll chit-chat a little bit. And if you're watching the replay, don't forget to leave a comment then. I'll check back in and respond to your comments, especially if you have questions. For sure. So up here on the top is my host code. If you're in the market to place an order in Canada, you can go ahead and visit my Stampin' Up store, the creativeinkster.stampinup.net, and then zero in on this host code. When you use that host code, hey Vicki, then it ships directly to your home. And if it's over $100, you pay minimum 11% shipping, and you can use your credit card. If alternatively you want me to place the order for you, you can pick it up in Guelph, and I will give you 10% shipping anyway. And because you'll probably tag on to one of my other orders that's going in. So that's kind of a savings there. You get to pay by e-transfer. Alrighty, this is the card for tonight. Isn't this shiny and pretty? Oh my goodness. So backstory on this. We have this pack of 3 sheets of silver foil paper. And it was a freebie at the end of the last celebration back in August time. And it kind of got thrown in there as an option. So I gathered a bunch of the packages up, and I love the silver foil, but I didn't know what to do with the darker colors. So there's 3 shades, and this one has quite a look of striations, lines on it. There, you can see that a little bit better. And I was like, I just don't know. It's kind of purpley to me, right? Anyway, I finally got it out and played with it. So I really like this card. I also got a new embossing folder to me. It's not really new. It's called Painted Posies 3D, and it's new to Diane in her stash, but it's been around in the annual catalog. And so this is the image that it will give you, is this beautiful set of flowers. So let's get around playing with this a little bit, okay? What do you need for this card? It's actually some minimal supplies. I've got here a card base, and I'm going with black because I feel like it is a purpley shade to it, or tint to it, but I tried putting it against Gorgeous Grape or something that's like a plum, and it wasn't quite on. The black is definitely a beautiful complement. So here's my card base, 4 1/4 by 11, scored in middle at 5 1/2 and folded. So it opens this way. Ooh, hi Shanna, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, bling, right? Woo-hoo-hoo. How does that shine or what? Okay, so as I usually try to remember to do, and I say it out loud so I will remember, is I want to put a piece of white or vanilla cardstock on the inside of my card when I'm using a dark colored card base, because I have boxes and boxes of cards to donate away, and every once in a while when I go through them to donate them away, I look and I realize that they need insides. So try to do this as I go. All right, there we go. Card base done. And for the one I'm doing tonight, I'm going to switch from Polished Pink, which is one of the ink colors that's retiring. I can't believe I'm saying that, in May. And I'm using a lot of it these days. But I'm going to use the Fresh Freesia because this has the purpley tones, and I just thought this was going to look really super nice together. And here is another piece. So this foil paper is one-sided, nice and thick. And here is this. I was going to give you a tip about if you get adhesive on it. It's not easy to get adhesive off when a little piece dribbles on this. You got to be careful with that. Yes, finish the insides. Yeah, right? So you want to be mindful not to drip any glue on there or run it past something that gets glue on it. Otherwise, it's not as soft and easily marked as some of our other foil papers were, which is kind of a bonus. All right, I'm going to pull the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in here. Oh, I didn't finish telling you, sorry. We got on the inside, then the outside's a 4 by 5 1/4. This, as I mentioned, was fresh freesia. So then I took this silver and cut it to 3 3/4 by 5. All right, and I'm going to complement this with the mesh wire. I've loved this stuff. I really hope it stays in the line because it is so elegant. It'll be perfect with this, and then a quick greeting. So I've got some white out for that, because that might take a few passes. Alrighty, let's pull the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in. This is the new one, if you're used to the black Big Shot. And it comes with your plate, and it says number 1 here in the top right corner. And so that is your base platform. And when you're embossing with these thick 3D embossing folders, and you'll know the difference because you'll see how much thicker these are than the standard, then the only other piece you need is this gray plate called number 4, and it says this is not a cutting surface. Do not cut into this piece. This is your shim that goes between your embossing folder and the platform. All right, for once I can't say, how do I know this? I could tell you. I really haven't done that, thank goodness. All right, so we are going in a vertical position. So what you may or may not know is our embossing folders, newer ones, or the ones now, have a black line through the Stampin' Up logo. It's upside down. Now, that is not to highlight the logo. That is to give you a place to line up the edge of your cardstock. And that works so well. So that's what I tend to do, is especially on anything that has an obvious pattern, like the new cane weave, this one, the brick. I want to make sure that I've got it going straight. So that's what I'm doing there, is lining this up. And you also want to put your embossing folders through with the fold side first. That's the least amount of pressure on the edge of it. And then that helps them go through safely for many, many passes. All right, so it's going to get a little wiggly and maybe a little noisy, but we're going to move this through. And with the magic of this amazing machine, when we open it up and you use foil paper, check it out. Look at how gorgeous that is. It makes an amazing impression. And I mean, you could use any of the other ones like the brick. You could use the greenery, which is actually a die, but I think of it as an embossing folder because it's got all the stitching on it. But any of the 3D ones specifically are going to give you just this gorgeous image. And this is like a whole layer in and of itself with the flowers on it. It really doesn't need a lot. Okay, so let's get our bits and pieces here. And the foil paper, because it's just got a white back to it, it glues down quite nicely. So we're going to add some liquid glue to the back here. Put some through the middle, because as with most embossing, there are some raised and non-raised edges, and you want to get into all the nooks and crannies. Check this out. Doesn't this purpley look of this go great with the fresh freesia? It's just lovely, just lovely. So I want to carefully just press it down. 2 reasons. I don't know why, but lately I've been squishing glue out the edge, and I don't want to leave little marks behind. And 2, I don't want to press in and depress these lovely embossed edges. So there we go. Voila! And then this is going to go on the front of our card. Always make sure your card's opening right. Otherwise, if you put it on this way, it's always a little bit of a challenge to open your card when you put it on upside down. Ask me how I know. And yeah, so then this is going to go on here, and we're going to wrap, let's get our sample back out here. We're going to wrap some of this mesh around, which has a real silvery look to it, and then I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. And I don't find that I need to do a whole bow with this. I find a knot is enough, because this is it's more than 1. Yeah, 1.5 inches wide. So it is a nice wide layer. It has lots of bits that stick out and crinkle and get shiny. And a bow is, I think, just over the top. You just really need to just do a knot. A knot is enough, and you'll save a little bit and make this ribbon go even further. I think it comes in 5 yards on the roll. Okay, so you might want to just like play with these to get them to stick out, and then trim them. It's a little haircut here. This is just so, so pretty. And then we're going to pop it up on dimensionals because we can. Now, I'm not sure if you can see it on my sample, but there's actually some gems on this as well. The matching 2021-2023 little opal rounds, they're called. And they come in the in colors of pale papaya, which to me really looks like so saffron. I don't know, might be my eyes. This one here is the fresh freesia, polished pink, soft succulent, and evening evergreen. So I did add them onto the flowers on my sample, and I think I'll do the same here. This package has 100, so 5 colors, 20 of each. There we go. Don't let that deceive you when you see the package like that. There's some hiding underneath. All right, I'm going to use 3 this time because odd numbers are a good way to do it. And it kind of depends where the flower lands if you're going for sticking them into the centers. I just want to use the larger ones so that I can keep it even for other projects where I like to use the different variety of sizes. I will use all big ones on here. So you can barely see them, but they do glint in the light. I think this one's just going to go there. All right, so that's the opal rounds. And we just have a greeting to go. So I have a celebration card or stamp set to share with you. This is sending support. Sometimes it's really hard to make really good sympathy cards. Sometimes the greeting is a little overt. It's a big, with great sympathy or condolences and whatever. And this one I really like. Some days are harder than others. And on the inside you could put, hope today is one of the easier ones. So they kind of go together. Sending loving thoughts and prayers. I use that a lot. I find that's a really a good one for sympathy cards or thinking of you cards or that kind of level when you don't know the person super well, when it's not a super close friend, but you do want to convey a good sentiment. There's so many ways you might feel right now, and the inside could be alone shouldn't be one of them. Courage is being really scared and doing it anyway. It's okay not to feel okay. You've got this. Good luck. Here for you always. There's lots of good. Oh, this one too. I like this one. My shoulder is yours. I'm going to use that on a card in one of my upcoming classes. So this is really a very nice stamp set. If you're looking for something like that, if you don't have something like that in your stash, this is a free one, which makes it even better. All right. So I have always found it a little challenging to use these short, half-inch wide stamps and getting them to position. So I may end up having to do this a couple of times. Let me just get a little piece cut here. So I want it to be 1/2 inch in height. So I've got a little bit extra to work with here. I might stamp it a couple of times. I suppose I could use my Stamparatus. That seems like a lot of work to pull it out if I just want to do a little bit of stamping here. And I don't know. I just like to do it this way. So I'll have my, ooh, I need my scratch paper, which is stepped away. Anyway, that's good. We've got a lot to go with here. So I'm going to just use the grid lines on my grid paper here to try to line this guy up. Let's see how we did. It's a little crooked. It's a little bit crooked. I'm going to try again. Sometimes it's the way I put the stamp and the sticker on. I sometimes get it a little bit off. So that kind of happens, and I know I need to push it up to the right or down to the left a little bit if I need to. All right, let's get that out of the way. So here's my greeting. And I'm going to make it easy on myself. I'm just going to do a little angled cut come over here and try to replicate that angle. So I have 2 angled cuts. That just makes it really simple. And I can easily trim it more if I want to, but I think this looks good. And I'll add some dimensionals to the back, which they can't be far. There they are. Now, if you have your dimensional sheets, these are all great to take out of the center, but don't forget those edge pieces too. So I call them the left and the right. I guess it could be the top or the bottom. They're kind of the even size. These ones over here I'll sometimes cut because they're very thin. And I'll cut along the edge and leave those half pieces on there. And then I've got a skinny piece for what I need, and then I've got some half size ones there too. None of these go to waste. I use them all up, trim them down, whatever I need to do. All right, so we'll just stick this on here. It's probably a little skinnier than I needed. There we go. So, I'm gonna have to move my gem. He's kind of going to be hidden there. We don't want that to happen. So if that happens to you, not to worry. We're going to be covering up the glue dot that was on the back of it. So we just need to add a little glue, a little liquid glue, or actually use a glue dot. It's probably the easiest way. So I'll grab a glue dot off here and kind of fold it over because they're just a teeny bit bigger than the actual gems. So if you kind of fold it over and pick it up with your scissors, or take your pick tool or tweezers or whatever it is you like to use, and then you can just squeeze that on there. And then we've got 1, 2, let's put this one down here. Here we go. Here we are. So there's our beautiful card. Gorgeous, isn't it? I just love it. So I will post pictures of these and the supply list so you can check it out. A reminder that tomorrow I'm placing my order for the ribbon and paper shares. So if you're wanting to get in on that action, let me know. It's posted on my page, so you'll see the cost for the different packages. This gives you a sampling of ribbons and papers from the new January to April mini catalog. And tomorrow celebration starts, so get those lists ready. Go ahead and place an order. There's my host code and my store. And I thank you for watching. I will be back on Monday. Have a great week. Thanks for popping by. Thanks, Vicki. Thanks, Shanna. Nice to see you. Bye for now.